Hey guys, welcome back. Remember last week we didn't really get a lot of footage on the car in its standard setup, in the out of the box setup. I'm going to take it on the trail now so we can see in what situation it's going to get hooked up on the bumper, and then we're going to do a couple of modifications on it without spending any money. I'm going to be running the trail that we always do. Coming up to the first obstacle, I like to hook the rear tire onto the rock, go very close, and if I accelerate now, the car will just swing around, kind of like a drag brake, although it doesn't have one. Then coming to the loose sand bit right now, make sure that I steer a little bit to the right, coming up. Now I need to make sure that my right front tire is on the ridge of that rock. Ever so gently climb up here, making sure my left tire goes onto the peak to get maximum traction on the back wheels. Slight left turn, and I'm kind of hooked up. Why is it doing that now? Let's just bump it a bit. There we go. And down. There you can see the 100% drag brake. The car doesn't fall as much. Keep going. There we go. Yeah, I seem to be just hooked up on that bumper. Hooked up on the bumper there a bit. Oops. Let's try that again. Come on, come on. Now it is hooked up on the bumper. Try that again, a little bit different angle. I'm going to get the wheel in the way of the bumper so that I can climb the rock. Still a bit of body rub there. But in total the car is doing absolutely everything. Just every now and then the bumper does hit. So the bumpers in my eyes do need to go up just a little bit. And somehow we are always, how do you call it, beaching out. Put the wheel, the left wheel, I'm going to hook it against the tire, against the rock on that side. Put my tire up there, get my wheel placement correct. And what I'm going to do as I come down, I'm going to try and get this wheel onto that rock. There we go. Trying to make sure that all my tires, or at least 3 tires, have grip. I'm going to be taking the car down this obstacle. There's 2 steps to it. I want to see if I can prevent the car from rolling over. I'm going to be putting it onto the front bumper. And that beasting is there to prevent it from rolling over this little lip over here. Okay, it's keeping the back wheel on the rock, which is a good sign. Let me drive it off there. And at the moment, the wheel is still in the air. Let's go to the other side. Now that one is also still in the air. So if that bumper could go a little bit higher, it'll be perfect. Now some people run this car without bumpers. It is probably the cheapest upgrade you can do. Let's see how it has to battle or not battle, because it's on quite a bit of a downhill. See how it battles so that it gets off. Oh, it does actually battle quite a bit. I thought it was just going to slide off there. Let's back it up again and okay. So let's do some modifications. Just received the package in the post. We can unpack that later. Let's put that over there. Take the body off. Switch the car off. That might be a good idea. And we can start by looking at maybe raising the body. There's 2 screws in here and 2 screws in here. We can just pick the body up by raising these body posts. Looking at the back bumper, we see that this bracket where the bumper sits in actually drops down. What I'm thinking, take the bumper out and I flip this bracket the other way around so that it would be going upwards, and then putting the bumper back on. A similar thing in the front. It also has a slight drop, and then it has these little clips that also, or the connections that go into this bracket. They also have a little bit of a turn to it. So let's see how high I can get these bumpers to go with the body posts, and then I still need to figure out what to do with the rock sliders, because if the body goes up, they're not going to be sitting, or the body ridge is not going to be sitting in the rock slider anymore. So let's see what I can find to lift the rock slider as well. The rock slider does actually sit a good centimeter from the edge of the chassis, so it is actually lower than the chassis, so it would be quite a good idea to actually lift it to the same height. Place the body back on. You can see how much the body's come up. Now I just need to take that bumper and adjust it, and the same thing in the front. Spin the car around. You can see in there is actually the space. It's all a little bit dark and black, but the edge of this bumper should be sitting almost by the sticker. Coming to the rock slider, I've taken it off on this side, but on the other side I've left it on. By now you can clearly see that the body does not go into the ridge anymore, and it will allow the body to flex a little bit more, which is not really the point. All the changes are done. I'm super excited to see how it performs on the track now. If I go in there, you can see that the bracket is looking up. My ride height is much higher, or the body height is much higher. I've left the one rock slider in there just that you can see the body has gone up plus minus a centimeter. In the back as well, we can film through here. You can see that the bracket is looking upwards and not sitting low. I managed to lift the rock sliders with a couple of spaces. I just added spaces and spaces until it was the right height, so that it fits, or that the body fits back into that groove or the slot. I needed some extra long screws, so the originals I had to exchange. But let's take it out on the trail and see how the ride height has changed its performance. definitely looks more like a rock crawler rig now. Like my bodies to be a little bit higher, not too high. So in total, this is actually perfect. So let's talk more ride. I'm going to run the same course again, hooking my back wheel onto the rock. But this time I have a feeling, because the car is higher, I can actually swing in sooner, which I'm doing right now, and I'm not even touching the rock yet. Letting the car do its work, coming through to the sandy bit, making sure I'm lining up, getting my, oh here as well, I have a lot of freedom there in the bumper. Oops. I actually didn't do that very well. Let's do it a little bit slower. Maybe concentrate more on the driving, less on the filming. There we go, okay. Gently, easy does it. Now this is kind of where a scale crawler fails. The TRX4 Sport fails, you can always say it is a scale crawler, not a rock crawler. So this is where my rock crawler actually goes, because it's got a higher ride height. In this case, I am beached out. Oh, there we go, fantastic. A little bit of right turn sorted me out there. Whoa, that was a little bit quick, that was my fault. Also here, coming down, as you can see, let me swing this gimbal, come on. I have a lot of space between the bumper and the rocks, so that definitely, that little upgrade, or the free upgrade, is definitely worth it. Now I want to see if I can place the car onto its bumper, make it balance on the bumper. Riding it over the two steps. Come around actually. And there we go. Now it looks like I am touching, but on closer look, I'm not touching. So the bumper is doing a better job in its higher position. You swing around. Car is leaning on the bumper, or leaning on the bee sting and the bumper. It's exactly how it should be, in case of it getting into this position that it doesn't roll over onto its back. Let the articulation push the oil in the shocks, and bang, sitting on the back bumper. Let's see how much pressure we have. Can we drive off, or can't we drive off? Very easy. Simple as it goes. So it looks like the TRX4 Sport has come to the party. Now, those are the little upgrades that you can do without actually spending a whole lot of money. Traxxas is announcing a couple of upgrades for the TRX4 Sport. Go check them out on their website. Other than that, my friends, thanks for watching. Subscribe, click that notification bell, and we'll see you guys next week. Let's see what the postman brought me. Oof. smart. That means no more wind interruptions.